Hello YouTubers, we're still in France, we're in the boat bays of the club here, CA Nantes, and we're going to have a lovely chat about the training that I've been up to here in Nantes, and then we're going to have a little bit of a chat about the training that I will be doing after we leave Nantes, which will be a sad time. But we're here preparing for the French National Championships, and I'm going to have a little bit of a chat about not only how I'm preparing for that, but also how I'll be preparing for what's coming up after Nantes as well, and hopefully that little bit of a chat will help you in your training as well. In order to prepare for the French National Championships, we've been rowing quite a lot in this 8 right here. So the majority of the mileage has been done in an 8. More specifically for me, this seat right here. Because remember, rowing is a rowing sport, and the best way to improve your rowing is to get out there on the water in the boat that you're trying to go fast in and just do as much miles as possible. But that may bring a question up in your head. And that question may be, well, Cameron, if you're doing the majority of the mileage in the 8, doesn't that mean that it will be detrimental to the performance in the Lamborghini name yet to be determined in the single? Well, not necessarily. And this is where the training that I've been doing has taken a little bit of a turn. Not what I anticipated, but something that I really think will benefit me in the long run. So, you almost have a relative amount of training that you can do in the week. Say we'll give an easy, you have to do 100 kilometers. Well, if I'm doing 80 kilometers, say for example, in the 8, I can't be expected to do another 80 in the single because I want to improve in the single as well, because that's over my 100 kilometer range, if you will. So I'm getting the cardio benefit, the strength benefit, that kind of side of things in the 8. So what I really need to improve in, and as highlighted by my performances in Italy at the Piediluco Regatta, I really need to improve my confidence and my comfortability in the single. And so what I've been doing is been doing a lot of the cardio work outside of the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, whether it's in the 8 or on the rowing machine or elsewhere, maybe on the bike. In the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, the sessions have been much more, definitely not relaxed, but much less taxing on the cardiovascular system and much more focused on trying to improve the confidence and the comfortability in the single. So doing really basic drills like tapping down, tapping the gunnel with the oar, standing up, just creating the feeling that the Lamborghini name yet to be determined and myself are becoming one. And so over the past few weeks I've been adding those drills in, doing those sessions alongside the rowing sessions in the 8, and I really think it's been helping improve. It's definitely a big work in progress, but over time as I become more comfortable and more confident in the single, the rowing should improve, or at least that's the theory. And the thing is, I can't just expect my confidence and expect my comfortability to get better by just doing more miles in the single. I have to really push myself outside of my comfort zone in order to improve that confidence. And that's just not a case of, well, push yourself outside of your comfort zone by rowing more miles. It's really by almost taking a step back and focusing on what you're not as good at. And not only have I been working on the water in the 8 or the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, I've also been working indoors in here in the weights room or the ergs over behind me. So a lot of squats, a lot of bench press, a lot of seated rows. For me, as we approach the racing part of the season, the reps come down and the intensity or the weight goes up. So I would generally recommend that, but depends where you are in your season and your sort of ability level. So the rule of thumb is generally more strength, more power in the lower rep ranges, more endurance in the higher rep ranges. But speak to your strength coach for more tips on that one, because for now, I'm going to be doing more work in here. We're going to get on the rowing machine for a lovely workout that I've been doing once a week over the past couple of weeks here in France. I'll just turn off my biggest fan. And we have finished the last half hour out here in Nantes. Supposed to be half an hour rate 20. Today I overrated just a little bit, but I really wanted to push on in the last 10 minutes of this half hour, and unfortunately that pushed the rate just a little bit higher than anticipated. I've done 4 of these in this training block here in Nantes, and each one has stepped on quite significantly, and so I'm comparing myself to myself, and I know, yes, this one was a little bit higher rate than the previous ones, but it was a big enough step that even if I was on rate, I'm still confident that I would be faster. Hopefully that makes sense. So the training block itself has been absolutely fantastic. Getting in the 8, doing those long, steady miles it's been really good. I really enjoy it. Just getting out there, pushing off the dock, rowing one way, turn, and rowing back to the dock, and that's the session complete. It's completely different to rowing on, say, at Strathclyde Park, rowing on a 2k lake, and getting out there in the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, having those long miles, and also working on the confidence in the boat and on the being comfortable in the boat, and really highlighted that I needed to do that training with the Sinkovich brothers, and also obviously racing in the bad conditions in Italy and falling in during a race. Just not being confident or comfortable in bad conditions and having the confidence in myself to really relax but able to get the work in. So working on the confidence here in Nantes, in the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, hopefully, fingers crossed, yet to be tested, will benefit me in the next parts of the season, which I will be discussing after I fuel up, because remember, food is fuel. I need to fuel up after any session, regardless if it's a big push in a half hour or even a steady state session. And I'm going to have a shower, relax, and then we'll chat just a little bit about what's coming up after Nantes, which I'm really excited because it's another different part to the Euro trip journey. Oh yeah. And we're resting, we're relaxing. Yam and I just enjoying this absolutely fantastic weather out here in France on the pontoon of CA Nantes. But we're chatting about the training that I'll be doing after I leave France. So, obviously, the French National Championships is in the 8, and I won't be in France anymore, so I won't be in the 8. I will be changing locations, so that will change how the training looks as well, so stay tuned for where that location may be. But since I won't be in the 8, I can't do the majority of the cardio load work in the 8 anymore. So I'll have to transfer it back to the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, but I don't want to change the focus of the confidence drills, of the comfortability drills. So what the plan is to shift the work over, but don't lose those sessions where they're not taxing sessions at all. So that's really the benefit of them. You can go out there out on the water for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, nothing too stressful in the way of timings. It's just stressful on the water and fearing for going for a little bit of a dip, but that's okay. We can all go for a little bit of a cool down, especially in weather like this. So when I get to the next location, more mileage in the single, but also keeping up the improvements in confidence in the really simple drills that again push me outside of my comfort zone. And then as we approach the last races of the season, I'll probably be doing less and less work indoors, and so here in Nantes probably will be the last big sessions on the rowing machine. I think today's 30-minute roughly rate 20 might be the last one, maybe one more, but there's not going to be many more for the latter parts of the season, because the season itself is quickly coming to an end. So that's a little bit of a hint of the timings and the races that are coming up of what I will be doing. And let me know in the comments below as we get a little bit of wash. Let me know in the comments below what races you think they may be. And then in the next episode, after the French National Championships, of course, you'll know where I'll be and what those races will look like, which I'm super excited for. Another hint, I have done them before, and so I really want to use the experience that I've had previously and try and do better than that experience. But as always, the result isn't what I'm trying to aim for. It's enjoying the experience and trying to improve on myself, improve on my results, not anybody else's. So that will be it for today's episode. Yam and I are going to enjoy this lovely weather again. Getting a bit hot there, Yam, isn't it? So we're going to find some shade. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode. Something a little bit more relaxed, something a little bit different. But also if it helps you in your sort of understanding of the training. I know a lot of the time it can be a case of just go and do more miles. Well, more miles is not always the best thing, and for me, I don't think it is at this moment, especially how I'm feeling in my ability in the Lamborghini name yet to be determined, even after just a few sessions of comfortability, let's call it. So excited for what's to come, and as always, if you did enjoy this episode, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the French National Championships episode. Oh yeah!